Now, let us look at this question which deals with chems. It reads, it says, the flower rises 80 millimeters for the first 180 degrees with a uniform. Please note, now we're dealing with acceleration and retardation. So, there's a special way in which this is done. Then it says, the flower then drops for the final 180 degrees to its original starting position with a uniform acceleration and retardation. You'll notice that these are the two words that we're dealing with, key words that we need to deal with, acceleration and retardation. Now we need to draw a displacement graph using a horizontal scale of 30 degrees equals to 10 millimeters. Vertical scale will be 1:1. Now let's quickly do this. Therefore, now we have done our divisions 0 to 360 degrees, and these are 10 millimeters. Now we need to read the floor rises 80 millimeters for the first 180. So this is where we are. So we need to measure 80 millimeters at 180. So at 180 we need to go up by 80. So I'm going to put there 80. Thank you. So that's where we are. Maybe let's change this line. We'll change it later. So now we need to draw a line from 0 to the highest point. That's the first line that we need to draw. Now let's perhaps change this line to be a construction line. Let's change this line to be a construction line. It's too thick. Let's use default. Yes, that's fine. Let's also change this line to be a construction line. Let us use default. Now there we go. Now this here then says you've got to look at the divisions that are here at the bottom and count them. There should be an even number. So we're going to say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it's an even number. So you divide it by 2. 0, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, this is the midpoint. So I may just draw this little point there and say, that's my midpoint. I'm going to leave it like that and say, this is my midpoint. From this bottom part line going up, that's where I get the midpoint. Therefore, from using this height here, that distance to that distance is equal to this distance. All right. Now, let's quickly change this because it seems like we're still drawing with the wrong line. Now, this here then says 0, 1, 2, 3. This must be divided into 3 equal parts based on what we have here. So it means you need to draw a line at any angle. At any angle. In this case, let me draw it like this. Now I've drawn the line at any angle. You will then have to divide this line into 3 equal parts. Why 3? Is because I'm using this 1, 2, 3. So this must be divided into 3 equal parts. I prefer to use 5 millimeters. So I'm going to use my compass to scribe an arc on this line. So this is 1. This is 2. And that is 3. I used 5 millimeters. Now I need to draw a line. This is number 3. So this is that one. Perhaps let me do it like this so that we can all see how I use my compass. So I'm going to draw small circles here. I'm going to draw small circles here to indicate what I'm doing exactly. That goes away, that goes away. So that goes away, that goes away, that goes away, that goes away, that also goes away. Then I don't have that. Then now I've got my arc cutting here. I said we can use 5. I prefer to use 5, but you can also use 10. It's up to you as to the distances. Now this is where your compass is cutting. So these are your 3 equal parts. That's number 1, that's number 2, that's number 3. Now we need to draw a line from number 3 that goes right up to this midpoint. So that's 1. Now we need to draw parallel lines of this last line. Remember your line division. This last line goes to that distance there, right at the end. Now we need to draw parallel lines using these divisions. That's 2 and that's 1. Now this has been divided into 3 equal parts. So let's show it like this. Now there we go. This is now divided into 3 equal parts. Now we need to start from 0, draw a line to that division. That's 1. From 0 again to that division. So that's 2. So if you count these, actually, it's 1 with this number 1. That's number 2, which is this number 2. This is number 3, which is this number 3. So that's how we divide this line. Then this is the first point. That's the second point. Rather, that's the second point, and that's the third point. What I normally do is this, so that it's clear. Let us, yes, that's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to be, and that's where it's going to be. Now we clear when the red line meets the white line. That's the point. Red, that's a point. Now I should not have erased this one here. So then in your case, you will not be erasing anything. So yours will still be there. Now, because let us just draw this line here so that we clear this here. If you notice here, this height is equal to that height. Right. So all you need to do now is take these distances here. You've got to use your compass to measure that distance. What is this? Is now 13,33. So you're going to use your compass to take this distance and transfer them to the top. So I'm going to use my compass, which is this compass here. That distance is correct now. And I'm going to place my compass here to scribe the next arc. I'm going to place my compass to scribe the next arc. You will notice that it is 3 times. I will then use this side here to draw a line to that position. Line 1. I'll do the same thing. Use this point to draw a line to this position. Now I can take away these circles. Now what I have here and what I have here is the same thing. All right. So now let me just show you where I'll find the point. First point is that point. The next point is that point. So that's how it goes. So I'm going to be joining these points freehand, or use your flexicurve. Here we said that's the point, and here we said that's the point. So basically I can take away this. I can take away this. Now this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to use a flexicurve starting from 0, join it to that point, it goes to that midpoint, it goes to that point, and it goes to that point, and then eventually it goes right on top. There we go. Now there's our point. I need to make sure this is drawn dark. Okay, let's quickly make it darker. Let's see, let's choose a thicker line. Okay, there we go. There's our curve. Now I need to complete this side. It then says the flower drops for the final 180 to its original position with a uniform acceleration and retardation. We're still going to be repeating the very same thing. Right? But first, what needs to be done, you need to draw a line from top to the bottom. Then you count here. This is 0 line, all right? Because we're starting here 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's an even number. So you need 3 on either side because you need to divide it by 2. 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is the midpoint. So I'm going to take this just to indicate the midpoint in this case. This is the midpoint. That is the midpoint. 0, 1, 2, 3. If you're coming from the left hand side, it's 0, 1, 2, 3. So you're going to be doing the same thing. Divide this height here into 3 equal parts. Last time we used 5 millimeters. Now you draw a line at any angle. I can go this way if I want to. Or rather, let's use another direction to show that it can be drawn into different directions. Let's draw it in that direction. So I said now use 5. Now let us use 10 millimeters to divide this line. So I'm going to use 10. So it's 3 times, remember? Scribe an arc, scribe an arc, and scribe an arc. So this will be 3 times. So the last line, which is this line here, number 3, goes to that position. Yes, correct, because that's the height that you're looking for. Then the next one should be going, and then you slide your set square, then the next one should go to this point. Should go to this point. There we go. Then the last one should be going to that point. So now let me quickly move this away so that it's clear as to what we have done. You have now divided this space into 3 equal parts. And there we go. Here I used 5 millimeters. Here I used 10. Showing you that you can use 10 or 5. Now, from 360, I'm going to come to this position, draw a line. That's number 1. From 360, I'm going to use this point to go and draw and join there. Now we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this side here, same story. I'm going to join this so that you can see that it's the same height. This height here and this height are the same. So I'm going to take these distances and put it on top. All right. So let's double check now. What are the distances? I'm going to check with my compass. I'm going to take this compass here and I'm going to place it here. All right. So this compass, that distance, I need to double check this distance here. That distance is 13.33. You realize that I did the same thing here and it's still 13.33. I used 5 though, and here I've used 10, but the division is still the same thing, right? So I'm gonna, let us remove this quickly. Let's do it this way. Let's place our compass here to there. Basically, you place your compass at the center, you check that distance, then you scribe an arc on the other side. So let's go now. So place your compass and scribe an arc, and scribe an arc, and there we go. Now we're going to be using this side, always the opposite side, like your Z. Remember your alternate angles in mathematics? This is your Z shape. We use this corner, now we're going to use this corner. So now from this point, let's go, we're coming here, right? And the last one, this point, we're going here. And there we go. So we don't need this. I don't need this. Then that's why I'm taking it away. Now there we go. 1, 2, 3. Because I have 1, 2, 3. Now I know exactly where this will be cutting. So I can simply say, yes, that's where it's cutting. Next one is cutting here. I'm erasing them so that you can see where they are cutting exactly. You don't have to erase them. Now on this side here, that is already down. So this one here comes up. That's where it's cutting. Next one, that's where it's cutting. Then it goes to that center. So let's basically move these away. So we leave the middle one. We leave the middle one. Then we start again. We're using our flexi curve or freehand. Join from top. That's the first point, second point, third point, fourth point, fifth point, and right at the bottom, that's number 6. So that's how you join them. Perhaps this is not properly done. So when joining these freehand, you've got to make sure that it's neat, the curves. I think we're making a mistake here. We should be using a flexi curve. And in this case, this is my flexi curve. This is my flexi curve. From there, we go there. Next point. You can see my flexi curve is moving. Next point. Next point. Next point. Then you go up. Then it's joined. Then let us mesh this so that we can see that curve. There's your curve. Now there we go. This is known as acceleration and retardation, and this is how we do it. Of course, you're going to have your label here, your scale, etc., etc. Thank you.